Hello, I'm Captain Vile. I'm doing something new. I'm doing it's like director's commentary for like those. You know when a movie gets like a DVD additional stuff? Oh, it's a director's commentary. I mean, ow, my foot hit my desk. Anyway, I'm doing captain's commentary, which is just me commentating on the stuff I made because I'm the only one who made it. It's I could be the director, but I directed, wrote, animated, voiced, and edited this. So it's like creator commentary, which I guess I would also have the alliteration. But I'm doing captain's commentary because it's Captain Vile, and I want to do that. So whatever. So this is just I'll explain. I don't know my process making this thing while it's going through. I'll explain that while this is going on because the first minute, ooh, it drags. Next one of these I make is got to have a good hook because this did not have a good hook. Anyway, here's the.
It's
you can
Captain,
see,
but yes.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of pausing so I can explain crap. That's a real Batman comic. No one in the comments mentioned it, but it's a real comic I made. You can even see what page if you're clever enough. It's you see it says sharks there, but it's Run Riddler Run, which you might not be able to see, but whatever.
It's Captain, but yes.
So yeah, no, this first meeting with Sonic, later to be revealed as Sonic, I guess.
Don't just
was
dragged.
But as soon as I got to like
make it look like
this thing, the animation kicked off. It was quite nice. All right, and also I started animating this decently early when just the head turns. And his head's
a big fan of yours when I
different size than it was earlier.
Comics about you and all that.
Yeah. Anyway, I started animating this. I don't remember the month, but it was like halfway through the year.
Can I go?
When I like just admitted to myself, yeah, I'm not winning the bet. And then I didn't touch it for months. I finished this part.
How many times have you done this? More than you'd think.
All
but I do
of this
story from being written
was animated from
sales, since it would
November to the
second week
it went up.
I don't really care.
So just
about
crunch time,
any
2
months fans, and I really don't care about not having new weird fans.
I wonder if the plan is a little convoluted. Sonic's plan to betray Captain. I'm referring to him as Captain because it's not me.
It's the same number. If you want to talk to me about that riddle,
it's probably easier if I talk. But here, I'll mute it while I'm explaining this because again, this part drags, and I'll pause to explain other crap. But I wonder his plan. His plan was he gets the show not canceled by paying for the voice actor and still having Captain fall for the gimmick of whatever. Not explaining that well, but his plan was to just set Captain up, which you all saw. I don't know. I thought it was a little convoluted. Maybe someone was confused about it. Oh, and when I said I was starting and it's like this 2-frame log cycle, I lied. It's 3 frames. It's 3 frames, and it's barely... Like, how tall would he have been if it's trash can? I made him weirdly tall, but in every other shot, like the shot where he gets arrested here, coming up, whatever, you'll see it, and that's NAAFP anthem, and that, he's quite short. No one mentions this. Or no, some guy did. The crappy models, and someone mentioned the crappy nature of the hotel, or not the hotel, the parade. The captain set it up himself to lure Seth MacFarlane out, which I kind of liked.
Jewel Hotel.
I thought it would just be funny if they had like a bad hotel, or I keep saying hotel because it's the hotel on screen, but bad parade. And Seth MacFarlane didn't care at all because he like abandoned Family Guy. Here's an interesting. I don't know. This is why making stuff yourself is fun as hell. I wouldn't have been able to do something like that if I was working with other people. And they'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about? You want to put a what scene in this?" Like, "Oh yeah, me assassinating Seth MacFarlane. Why not?" Well, there's several reasons. But I think it's funny, so it's going in. And a lot of people, I was worried people would think that was an animation error. What? But no, there's a second shooter.
I didn't.
Instead of just me not animating him pulling the trigger.
Wait, is that?
There's Sonic. would have done a but I was low on time.
Put it down.
Now this area, this bit of animation, animation in air quotes. Gun isn't pointing at like him, it's his heart, I guess. Pointed to his head, but this, the tase.
Oh,
Give it a second.
no.
So his arm was meant to like extend and de-extend, as if he's like bringing it forward and then back, as if he's in like a boxing position, but it would stay in like the open palm, but it would go like while he was doing that for an additional movement. But I ran out of time because each individual, like, you can see when he's, sorry for the flashbang, when he's moving, you see how it's just 2 lightnings. Also these, some people read them, which is nice. No one read this one, which is pretty funny given the gag itself. Newspaper gags in decline due to high chance people not pausing to read all the jokes incredibly funny writers worked hard to come up with. See page 3. Sega stock rise and influx of fans rush to games, comics, and movies while awaiting Captain Vile's penalty Sonic fanfiction. And then the Vile on trial. I'm proud of that. I liked that. I tried to come up with something equally as funny for the Captain Crazy Committed, but the only thing I came up with was the alliteration. So it was just the alliteration. Fellow YouTuber known for blah 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 blah. Oh, and there's another in the news story I wanted to mention.
Tragically,
I wanted
the creator of
images
Family Guy,
to
Seth
go
MacFarlane,
like
was
here
assassinated
as he
by
was
some
talking,
weird guy with a
but
unibrow
I didn't
known
want
as
to
Captain
draw
Vile.
all the
His
images.
motive for his
And
heinous
if I
crime
had
was
like
to
pulled
win a bet
Google
that
images,
getting the
it
show
would be
canceled
jarring.
due to
But
the
that might have
cost
been
of
funny. It
replacing
might have
all the
worked.
voices.
But I
Therefore,
didn't do it.
in its time of need, Sega,
Maybe I should have.
creator of Sonic the Hedgehog,
Maybe I could
and
have,
other
but I
games,
didn't.
I guess.
And
but
oh
no
well,
one cares
not
about
doing
Dolphin
something
games.
this similar.
I mean, did you
next
see
year.
a Bayonetta movie trilogy? No. You know why?
That's a
Because
reference
that
to
woman is
the what's it, Donkey? Like, does Bayonetta have family fun? Probably because that woman is a huh? Oh yeah. Oh, but you swear as it gets cut off with
Sega
the
has generously offered to cover the cost of hiring new
Anyway,
voice
I quite
actors
like
for the show
this
so it
scene
doesn't get canceled
coming up.
again. The man known as Captain Vile is currently fighting his murder charge and is determined to make it everyone's problem. Well, Todd, I
The
left
violence
Sean
and then
Pepper in
Victor.
Portland, but it's
Someone mentioned Victor's not doing anything, which yeah, probably not. I like to imagine that this guy, like, he's the field reporter for a reason. Like, you look between like the kind of handsome guy and then like your neighbor. Like he's just annoyed. I also gave him like a nose. 'Cause I guess it would be cold, but there's no snow, so maybe he just has a cold, but he comes in anyway. But here's the violin Captain was mentioning. No one brought this up. This is the violin undercover he mentioned during his neurotic rant. And then no one mentioned the free Captain, horribly spelled sign. Oh, but this is from this
henchmen.
which
Are
that was a
determined to
pain
not
to
let anyone
get
inside
set
until
to
he is free.
But anyway, that's from Plants vs.
Well,
Zombies
now what,
1,
Jake?
Garden Warfare.
Oh, this is my
Plants
fault?
vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1.
Well, it was your job to get footage of the
Look
courtroom.
over the double take. That was unintentional. That was because I messed up something with when I was animating it. The files got misplaced in like the timeline.
Well, it was
So the double
your job
take
to get footage of the courtroom.
was unintentional, and I just kept it
We
in.
can
'cause
still
it-
get
and he's done it
sketches
before,
and
and it
recordings. Oh,
works.
what is this?
And this
50?
masterful,
Well, if you're
like,
so
what
upset
do you
by
mean?
it,
I'm
why
just
don't you-
raising. I just
Hey,
made it go
hey,
up.
stay
Look
back.
at this.
Get away from me.
Masterful animation. Also, I'll get to this in a second, but like the violin talk noise is it Wilson? I think it's Wilson from Don't Starve. I always imagined they made noises like an accordion, and that was the closest. Like I wanted them to have that, but I couldn't find one whose voice was an accordion. Wilson's is like a flute, I think. But I always wanted. I don't have an accordion. I have a keyboard that can make accordion noises. I should probably get some samples of, and I'll do that later for future projects with violin henchmen. But I always anticipated that they had like accordion noises and then subtitles that only Captain and Victor know of. Also, since I can address it directly, Victor is this guy with the cigarette, who's like Captain's assistant or something. His second in command, first mate, quartermaster, whatever pirate lingo you want to use. He helps him out. He's like the most competent henchman, but he never does anything because he's the most competent henchman, and Captain can't get rid of him
Hey, stay back.
or can't
Get away
afford to
from
get
me.
rid of him. Do anything
All
wrong,
right.
despite the fact he killed a guy in broad daylight, allegedly. This it didn't come across very well because I just drew. Oh, by the way, this somewhat of a change in art style. I can probably have it go while it's on for a while. This is meant to be a reference to the
Hey, when did you
Incredibles
guys stop wearing
courtroom
wigs?
scene where it's like the shadow, but it's reversed
get
because
this
it's
over
in a
with.
world of shadow with like the light around him.
Mr.
The
Vile,
Mr.
you stand
Incredible,
accused.
after
Captain.
destroying the
I'm the
train,
captain.
but I didn't give them faces. And this, I think I mentioned
Captain
it, but got
Vile.
on the Mr.
You
Incredible
stand
thing.
accused
This
of
is
the
what I
murder
actually
of
look
Seth
like
MacFarlane
instead of
in
like
broad
the
daylight.
over
in front of over 500
here.
witnesses. How
that
do you
like
plead?
cartoonish. This
Innocent.
is very close to what I really
Oh,
look like.
well, wait, no, not guilty.
With
yeah,
like
that's
the
fine.
realistic unibrow with the mix of V.
Now, would the
I should
defense like to
implement
make
that
its
in his
opening
design,
statement?
maybe.
Wait,
But
where's the defense?
yeah, no. It's not as drastic of a unibrow
Like I
in
would
real
let
life,
some
but I still draw it
court-appointed
as
loser
drastic as
defend
unibrows like
me.
Count Olaf, just because it's fun.
I will represent
Represent
myself.
And that's a reference to Arkham Knight's Riddler. Who was like, I don't
Of
need
course.
a lawyer, you jumped up
Now,
security guard.
honorable
I
members
represent
of the
myself. Of
jury,
course, I can mention
my
that from
client,
memory.
the handsome and
And then the
intelligent
sovereign
Captain
lawyer
Vile
I've
did
gone on about
not kill
how I
that
would
young
absolutely,
man.
I would do this in
In
court.
fact,
If I
he
ever
was
get arrested
framed.
for whatever reason, I would absolutely
guys
do
were gonna
this in court, and I
gasp
would
with
be
that.
held in
Now,
contempt
I
of court,
may
and then I'd go to
just be
prison
a
and rot.
country lawyer,
And
but
then
don't you know,
this isn't that
gun
easy to
means
read, but he's like
bullets
looking
to
up,
fire.
sighing.
My client's gun was empty during the arrest.
I probably
Your
should have added
Honor.
more color
If
instead
you
of
keep
just this
doing that
weird
accent,
line
I
in
will
the
hold you in
background
contempt of court.
of the
I
court
do
sketches.
contempt this court, your
I also would have.
honor.
I wish I
but
added
didn't
like
shoot him.
cassette
My gun was out of ammo.
noises
If you pull
and
up
like
the body cam footage of the
typing
moron
for the court
tased
stenographer,
me,
and then I would have like typing
you can
much
hear my
faster during the
rifle click
rant.
when
If I
I
ever do a
try to shoot
courtroom
him.
scene, I do
Objection,
that.
Your Honor. The defendant
And another
has
thing,
barely been out of ammo after shooting.
so I started
the victim.
animating this
overrule,
part.
Your Honor. It doesn't work.
Like I know it's gonna get up there soon. This part was always planned. I didn't see any comments, but I figured some people would be like, "Man, must have run out of the animation budget, huh?" But no, I always planned it for the courtroom scene. I got that idea from The Sopranos during Junior's trial, I guess. Somewhat spoilers, but it's not that big a plot point. And I started animating this as soon as we played. Like as soon as I started doing this was the first episode of Ace Attorney, and I really considered having like Ace Attorney or a Phoenix Wright representing Captain, and then but I wanted, if I did that, I would want like in jokes with the series, and I'm too new to the series that it would just be they're there for like no reason. So if I ever do a court thing again, I'll do Phoenix Wright represents him. But I had a good joke if I did that, which would be Phoenix is actually like Phoenix has proven the facts and being like the police got there too fast. The witnesses say it's on the other side of the building. My client could not have possibly done this. And then Captain gets insulted because he's like, "Oh, you think I'm not smart enough to represent myself?" And then it's like, "I will represent myself," and it like hard cuts to just he gets committed. Like, "I will do my own legal thing. Thank you very much," and then goes to a mental institution.
Cool, Your Honor. It doesn't work like that.
I mean, I kind of give him the joke away,
Continue. It's
explaining it,
Captain.
but whatever. And then
The
half
defendant only loaded one
half
bullet
judge
into
half
how
foreign, which I only named
highly
that
he
because I could do
clearly
the half
thinks of
wit
himself. He didn't think he
I am
was
proud of
missed
that. No
or
one
predicted
mentioned the
police
"You're a
would be in
moron"
time to arrest him.
bit. I thought
I
that was
object.
hilarious,
That's
but
one.
no one mentioned it.
The rifle
Like at
was
all.
fully loaded.
But whatever.
How
Okay,
could the police
guys,
have
the
gotten
things I do
seconds
for
after
you.
the shot, which the
Alright, then he goes
500
on his little
witnesses
tangent.
say came from the
I
building
imagine,
opposite to me, unless they
I liked
knew
this.
I was
I can
there.
skip ahead because it's
So
very
I got the
long.
fully loaded
I quite
rifle
liked
from
this, but here, if my
Sonic
mouse
the
would allow me,
Hedgehog. Hell,
when he's
that's
talking about
cool.
like the media circus surrounding his trial, I wanted it to be like an empty courtroom. And I really should have done that. I had time to draw other things. I was just lazy when I did this part. I was just tired because I was so near the finish line. And I was like, you know what? I can get it done probably this weekend. And I did. Well, I mean, that's a lie. The
Nice
asylum bit
try.
took a lot, but I
You
got this done.
almost had
The
me.
most
I'll give him
time-consuming thing
that,
was
but I
the
was
captions, though. I made a lot of typos the
One
first
man
time,
I was
and I made sure, I made double sure there were no typos. I'm pretty sure I got them all. I mean, I'll
But
look now. I don't think I
once
missed any.
again, I'm a step ahead.
I checked very
My
thoroughly.
crew may look like they're
And then there's the
picketing
violin
outside
with
this
the
courtroom for my
shovel.
freedom, but in
That one.
reality,
The beat the
there's one
reporter,
hidden
and
amongst
someone
them.
mentioned how he only hit him once,
As
so either
we
he had a
speak,
crit
he's
or
tunneling
went back
underground
and finished the
this
job.
very
Which
courtroom,
I like the
waiting
idea
to
of
rescue
both.
me from your shackles. All I had to
I'm
do
gonna
was
say
buy
it's
time
canon
and
that
distract
he
your
hit the crit
pathetic
and he
minds long
died
enough.
on
I
impact.
know you can
But
hear
the
me,
violin didn't
Blue
know
Rat.
that and
You
went
think
back
you've
and
got
beat the
me?
dead corpse, not knowing he
Forever.
was dead.
No one
So
can
that's
bug
something
me.
they would do.
No one. Hey,
And then
hey,
here's
get your
the
hands off of me, you brute!
perfectly
Hold him
legal to do
steady.
this, by the
You
way.
can't do this to me, you moron!
If your lawyer's
Put that
annoying,
gavel
just
down.
do
No,
this. And then heroic judge to receive key to the city. I didn't see anyone mention that. They did mention the reporter beaten to death with shovel, and during his trial, bursting an ironic rant about Sonic the Hedgehog. This one, I mean, yeah, I used Arkham Asylum as a reference. Ooh, one thing I didn't mention outside this, I used this. Any Arkham City fans might recognize it. I didn't one for one, but it's based on the courtroom from Arkham City. And I guess Origins. I don't think it's in Night. No, it's not in Night. But in Arkham City and Origins, that's the courtroom. I used that as a model. I didn't trace it, but I mean, I just... I don't know. I looked at it while drawing it as a reference. That's not tracing. What are you going to sue me? Moron. That's the Milkman Conspiracy. And here, I liked doing this. Like, every time... This is, like, my favorite part of the whole thing. I mean, this part... I think the violin parade, and I think this was my favorite part to edit. This was my favorite part to animate. That little hand movement, I quite liked that. Go back. This was my favorite part in general, kind of. Every time, whenever I was editing, whenever I opened the project to add more files, I would always watch through in full. Because it's just my favorite part of the whole thing. It's really funny. And the music that plays in Dreams, it was originally going to be It's Later Than You Think. The enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. Enjoy yourself. It's Later Than You Think, which is about enjoying your life while you can. And they're playing that in prison. Like, go on vacation. Go enjoy the world from your cell. Which is why I was going to pick that. But then I heard In Dreams while watching From while animating this. And then I decided I'd go with In Dreams because that's about a guy who is either his girlfriend broke up with him or died. And he can be with her in dreams. So I went with like the ironic song choice of what if there was a prisoner that is like dreamt that they were either released or escaped or never sent there in the first place, and then they woke up in their cell and that was playing. That hypothetical was too funny for me not to include In Dreams in the short. It's too good. I thought about having Captain be that henchman where he like woke up and it was just a bad dream and he was about to accept his like award from the mayor for winning his bet, and then woke up in the cell and then started banging on it. But that would have been, I don't know, it would have been that funny of a joke. So I didn't do it. But part of the one thing, he's like the 50s. So I don't know what year this is meant to take place in. With all the crappy rundown asylum, and he's in like the 50s orderly outfit with rusted doors. I like to assume that it was a rundown asylum that was abandoned, and then they opened it up specifically for Vile, because you don't hear any other inmates. I was gonna have other like screaming and banging muffled noises, and you just hear like muffled captains calling him a moron, but I didn't do that because I don't know, maybe they're all asleep and Captain's keeping them up, or maybe Captain's the only one in there, whichever's funnier. I think the only one in there, but I think it's better to assume it's just a regular asylum that he was sent to. Anyway, back to the actual thing.
Guard.
I thought about having the door bend, but Captain's not that strong.
Hey,
So
boy.
instead, he's just banging on it, and it doesn't do anything.
Moron outside
the cell I'm trapped in, or locked in. This
I know
file.
you
I wonder
can
what
hear
wonderful words we've written on my file.
What?
I want my phone call.
This isn't prison.
I don't even think
You
that's
get
true.
access
I
to
got
a
that from
phone
House.
when you're on good behavior.
When they like don't let patients have access to
behavior.
a phone unless they're on good
You
behavior. But I
locked
think
me
I'm pretty
in
sure
the
you're
nut house
like
on
legally
false
allowed
pretenses.
2 phone calls a day.
I'm already
in a
on
mental
good
institution.
behavior
But I wouldn't
because
know.
I'm not insane.
Anyway, you're not
Good
insane.
behavior
And then the
means
eye
shut
twitching.
up before I chemically sedate you.
Again, because he's clearly been done
Whatever.
before. And people mentioned the yes. I'm gonna just confirm. Yeah, no, he did that within minutes of being locked in his cell. He's that was like his first interaction with the guard. He scriped moron, so whenever no one mentioned that. I think they mentioned the question marks, but I like that. That's so whenever he gets food or the guard tells him to shut up, it's like this man's a moron, but he'd never know unless he opens the door and sees it, and then not good for him. I'll be out of here soon enough. This
I have
one,
more
I contemplated
pressing
not doing.
matters to
That took a while. I mean, it took a while. It wasn't hard. It just took a while. That like hand movement. I think some people might not even mentioned it or saw it. But yeah, no.
enough.
He opens his palms and closes them.
I have more pressing matters to attend to. That
In his bed.
rodent wants a story to bring in fans.
Originally, he was gonna like. So the New Year's like Happy New Year, everyone. Was gonna be him writing the story on like a typewriter, or he'd like cut his hand on the like edge of the bed and was like writing it in blood on the walls. But that was a bit much. So then I went for the typewriter, and then I was running out of time, so I just did. He gets chemically sedated by the guard,
I'll give
and then
him one.
just have the Happy New Year thing be
I'll
on
tell
there.
the story.
Because every
No one will forget.
like finale, the last one, not that many people watched. This one, a lot of people watched. I'm on YouTube, right? Yeah. Oh, you can't see it, but it's 1,000. Oh no, you can see it right there. Yeah, a lot of views. Pretty wacky. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Ho 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 ho. Anywho, the first one he gets dragged off into the sea by a kraken because I bet playing Subnautica, but now I bet a story, so he's got to write it. But there's always, after all of these, I'm planning a captain in a situation, and then the Happy New Year is somehow written somewhere.
A story that'll make that rat
Rue
rue
the
the
day
day
he
he thought about
putting
having me
me
sent here.
Yeah, maybe if that reaction, maybe he should be sent there.
Damn it, Vile! I warned you.
No, not in the needle. Not in the needle, please. And then this. Yeah, I thought about having the door open, so like it's immediately after, but I figured he's being chemically sedated. He's gonna be strapped to the bed and it's gonna be dark again. Because if you see the very different green and then very different green, so that's because I put for shading I cheat and just put like a full black screen, and then I just like lower the opacity on that to like 70, so it seems like it's darker. That's a neat. I don't even know if that's a cheat. That's might be how you do shading. But I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't talk to other artists. They're annoying. And then here's because I'm watching it on my kick-ass YouTube channel. So well. That's how I made it. Well, it's not really how I made it. I made it by drawing it. But I mean, that's not that interesting to look at. What is interesting to look at is the culmination of my drawings. You know, that. So next, I'll make these once a year, and I'll make these captains commentary whenever I make like an animation. Just cause, I mean, animation takes a damn while. I mentioned that Diamond Eye and Kevin thing. Yeah, no, that's gonna get a captain's commentary every episode, because every episode's animated. Duh. But at first, I'm gonna make it. So anyway, this was not cashing in on the immense like viewage that this one got. I was gonna do this if it got 20 views, which I expected it to get. But hey, now you can find out about maybe a little bit about my process. Well, no, not at all. You didn't find anything about how I made it. You just found out like what I was thinking about when I made it. But whatever. I commentate on the product, not the pencil I thought I drew the product with. Whatever. Thank you for watching, and good Vile.
Stay tuned to Gotham FM.